Fatal crash near Reagan National Airport last night. Chicago officials are addressing safety at O'Hare and Midway.
So the question is there a similar risk of tragedy here, home to one of the world's busiest airports? Paris has the latest on this. Paris?
Yeah, Sylvia and Terrence, O'Hare has had its share of close calls, especially recently where aircraft coming in for landing had to be diverted at the last minute because another aircraft was on the ground. And this was the subject of a recent congressional hearing. And Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth is notable for her experience flying Black Hawk helicopters. That is the type that collided with the American Airlines regional jet last night outside of Reagan Airport. She says the copter was on a standard route along the Potomac, although she's awaiting information on whether or not it deviated from that route or the plane deviated from the landing path. Now, she's also flown military helicopters out of Midway, and she told me about the challenges of avoiding congested airspace there.
Sometimes we would take off vertically midfield, even as aircraft were landing to our left and to our right, and and pop up to 800 feet and then depart out horizontally away from Midway just to get away from that very busy air traffic. But again, we were trained to do that. We practiced doing that. We knew exactly what we were doing. This was standard, something that was done. Sometimes we would come in to land. We wouldn't actually land to a runway. If the runways were very congested, we would get special instructions from the tower, land to a taxiway.
Now, Duckworth says O'Hare and Midway have challenges because of the sheer volume of air travel. The biggest challenge is updating air traffic control equipment and hiring more workers. She says Congress has appropriated money for it, but the Trump administration is aimed to reduce that workforce. Trump, of course, made unfounded claims of, quote, DEI as a possible culprit for what happened, although did not explain what that meant in this context. This investigation is just beginning. Meanwhile, Alderman Matt O'Shea, who chairs Chicago's Aviation Committee, says he believes the landing and takeoff patterns outside O'Hare and Midway are safe from other aircraft in the vicinity.
There are clear flight patterns in and out of our two international airports that aircraft don't deviate from, and you don't see other types of aircraft flying in those vicinities. If they are, helicopters fly out of those two airports, have defined routes also that they can ascend and descend to.
So long story short, never say never, although very rare event, very tragic event that happened at Reagan. And of course, Sylvia and Terrence, too soon to jump to any conclusions in terms of what exactly went wrong.